Hey, Psychic Stina here. By patron request, I'm doing a pick a card reading for career, and I have 3 decks of cards for you to choose. I have the Paulina Tarot, deck 1, the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, deck 2, and the Steampunk Tarot, deck 3. So think about your career life and what your goals are for your work and what you see yourself doing. And stay tuned for the rest of this video. All right, everyone, let's get into these career readings. So everybody's career is a little bit different. So we're just going to see how this goes. So before we get into the readings, let's once again look at the deck. So just kind of clear your mind, think about like what your goals are in regards to your work life. Okay, so the first deck is the Paulina Tarot. The Paulina Tarot. The next deck is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. The Cosmic Slumber Tarot. And the third deck is the Steampunk Tarot. Oh, this is the Steampunk Tarot. All beautiful decks. Okay, so these are our 3 decks. So go to the timestamp in the comments of the deck that you want to see, and you can go to that video, or you can see all 3 videos, whatever you want to do. So deck number 1 is the Paulina Tarot. So let's ask about money and career path, and where is your life going, and you know, what are you doing for a living? Like, what is it outside of what's going on, like outside of your love life? Like, what's going on with how you're making the money and how you're living your life? So, all right. I believe you can do anything you want to do, and that you shouldn't stop. You shouldn't stop. So, all right. The Lover is the Hierophant. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. This almost looks like stuck in a job that you're not completely happy in, and possibly doing work for, you know, the Hierophant is kind of like the man, or, you know, higher business, or, you know, corporate life, and so it's like you kind of have a choice. Do you want to go after a stable love life and kind of like a meh job? I don't necessarily think that has to be your choice. I just feel like you might be stuck in a bit of a rut, you know, dealing with loans and dealing with, you know, credit card debt. The 6 of Pentacles is like, you know, like working to pay off debt and working month to month. And so in the past, it says that you had big hopes that, like, oh, okay, something is going to happen. I have big dreams, or you want big dreams. And but the Empress is like, well, you know, things are just going to, you know, happen, like kind of have big dreams, but then go with the flow. And so I feel like you kind of need to have a mixture of both, because if you're too go with the flow, then you don't have any control over your goals and your dreams and what you want to do. And you may be stuck in like a dead-end job, you know, just paying off credit card bills forever, which I've spent years of my life doing that. So, you know, and so, but that's kind of the whole go with the flow mentality. You know, if you don't seize your goals, like if you don't go, you know what, this is what I want to do. Like if you don't decide, like, this is what I want to do and I'm going to figure out a way to do it, then you're just going to be somebody else's servant in a way. You know, I mean, you might find happiness in serving people for, you know, for the greater good. You know, I think there's happiness in like all areas of life But yeah, you might be stuck in a little bit of a grind. So let me see what else these cards are. This is, the Sun and the King of Swords. It's almost like somebody's giving you a promise. It's like there's a promise from a boss that, I'll take care of you. Just do your job well, and we'll treat you well, and and you can, bow down to me, and I'll pay your bills. It's kind of extreme. But your first card is the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is kind of an interesting idea. It's the idea that whatever you need is given to you. It's like ultimate protection from the Lord or the universe or whatever you want to call your God. It's that, that the birds are taken care of, and us humans are taken care of as well. And so even if you went out onto a limb, you would still be taken care of. So right now, your job, you floated into, the Empress, you kind of flew into whatever you're doing. It's supporting you, it's taking care of you. But this Four of Coins is that you're kind of holding on to the hope of this job to give you more. And so, but you can only work so much towards it, if that makes sense. So if you are constantly working at this job to make the same amount, and you can't get ahead because you're constantly paying debt, then then you're just in this cycle. And meanwhile, you just have this boss that's saying, I'll give you everything you need if you just sell your soul to me. And so I feel like you might be kind of stuck, like not being able to get ahead. Your love life doesn't look so bad though. So you get this Queen of Wands, Ten of Cups, which is well, let me think. What does this mean? Queen of Wands, Ten of Cups. It's almost like somebody who keeps the peace, somebody who keeps the peace at work. It's somebody who makes work a better place to be. The Queen of Wands is like people go to work to see you, like you thrive with dealing with other people and having other people, like community building. And so you're good for morale. It seems like you're good for morale. But like the Ten of Cups, it's kind of a funny card, because sometimes that means like happiness in the family and happiness at home, and so it's kind of interesting. What are you sacrificing for this meh job? Like, you have this happiness in this home, you get the Lover's card, so there might be like this little relationship that comes. But then the job is kind of So above, you get the Nine of Swords, which is a fear that you're just going to be worried all the time, that you're just going to be sad and depressed and not moving anywhere in life, like kind of on the treadmill. And so if you're feeling like this is you and you want to escape out of like this rat race, then I think you need to start thinking about what it is that makes you tick. Like, what is your purpose? And spend some time thinking about what it is that you like, and how can you serve man? Like, how can you help heal the human race, or make the human race go further and better? How can you build life in a better way? And so you might have to dig down deep into your purpose. I think you have a great purpose in relationships and family. I think you can have a fulfilled life in your job too. And I don't think you have to rely on this promise of, from the man that, they're going to take care of you as long as you sell your soul to them. And I'm not trying to be like, political or anything. I just don't like this King of Swords card, like this boss. I don't know. I've always been kind of against authority in some ways. So I don't know. But now this Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, this is like working and paying off debt. So let me see, what can they do? What can they do? So it talks about like the jobs that you're trying to get. It's like you're trying to compete. And so if you're trying to compete, you're just like trying to get ahead of other people, and it's just, there's just losers and winners, and at the end of the day everybody loses. And so you may, and that may be like competing for like better jobs or something like that. And it seems like you have to go inside and think of an idea. You get this King of Cups and the Temperance. Like, what is it? You know, it's Page of Wands, Judgment. So it's like you look at other opportunities, and you look at what your friends are doing and see how are your friends succeeding, and look at how other, you know, it's like looking at friends, but then it's saying, you know, you don't want to compete. You don't want to compete with your friends, and you don't want to compete for work. But then it says an emotional idea brings balance, and an investment and support of someone brings about the Wheel of Fortune. So the Knight of Pentacles. So it seems like you get an idea that stirs your emotions. The King of Cups, like you hear something and you're like, oh, it just makes you like tremble inside, and you get a hold of the idea, and you start thinking about it, and you start, well, how can I make this happen? You get an idea, and then you get this Knight of Pentacles where you invest a little bit of money in researching the idea, and you know, I don't know, making a prototype or figuring out what to do, and you get this Queen of Pentacles. So it's like you get help from someone. You get help from someone that helps you figure out like the money aspect, and this brings about the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like you stumble upon an idea that brings you success, but you do have to put your money where your mouth is a little bit. Like you do have to chase after it a little bit. I don't say like you know, put in like money you don't have, but if it's, you know, I can't really say because everybody's investments is different, but you know, if it's a couple $100 here or there, you know, then think about it. You know, if it has a good return, then you know, think of creative ways to get your idea created, and start where you are, because it's, you know, I mean, you don't always necessarily need a financial investment, but like because tools are created along the way, you know. And so don't let money stop you from starting your idea. I feel like though somebody helps you and so you get the Wheel of Fortune. So let me see here. It says you have to deal with criticism from other people, but then other people say it's a good idea. And so when you have losses, but then you have a big gain. So, and the King of Pentacles seems as if you become some sort of a business owner. So I think your trajectory is that you kind of are in this rat race going and, you know, working to pay bills. And then all of a sudden you get this really good idea. You study it, you spend a little bit of money towards it, you get a mentor, you get somebody who can help you figure it out. You suffer criticism, you suffer loss, but you keep going and you turn it into a business. And so I wish I could tell you what it is. I get the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, the world, completing something, and the Four of Cups, which is doing something that nobody else wants to do. So basically, you provide a service to somebody that they don't want to do. So you do something for them. So it's a done for you job, and you answer questions, or you provide some sort of a service that helps people in doing what they want to do. I know that's kind of vague, but it's the 9 of Cups. So it's like somebody has a wish and you grant their wish, and the world is you complete jobs for them. And the 4 of Cups is by doing things that other people don't want to do. So it seems like you have some sort of a process that does things better. And so you help people out. And so I think that is pretty cool. So that is the Paulina Tarot. So just to summarize, I think you end up owning your own business. I think you get an idea and you put a little bit of money towards it and you take off. And so let me have a little sip of something here and get to deck number 2. Deck number 2, the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. All right, this is a very brightly colored deck, and so if you chose this deck, we are doing a career work reading, whichever reading you get. If it resonates for you, that's great. You can also check out the other readings and find your path. And, maybe a blend of all 3 readings is for you. Work and career related readings, it's all so varied because, it's just, there's so many different people on earth and so many skills and talents. I was kind of thinking about it, I guess there's like various phases of working. You're either not working, or making extra, so you either have nothing coming in or something coming in. So let's see what these cards have to say about work and career and money. Queen of Wands. There's a Queen of Wands, Prince of Swords. You may be kind of an aggressive person. You may be, Queen of Swords is the result card, which is boss lady. Total boss lady. But it says you kind of overcommit yourself. You overcommit yourself, that you bite off a big chunk and you might overcommit yourself. But you throw everything at it. You throw your life into your work and into your passions. So let me see here. Let me kind of get a sense of what this is. I think when you find what it is that you want to do, it becomes an obsession, and you study it and become it, and you become like some sort of an expert in this field. Like you're a very shrewd expert, like you know what's up, and it seems like you have a lot of control in some sort of a business. I don't know if it could even be like a therapist or something. It could be somebody who has a lot of say and a lot of influence. But it seems like it's backed up with a lot of education, that whatever it is that you are pursuing, it seems as if it has a fair amount of study behind it. So in the past, you get the Fool and the 2 of Wands. The Fool is like starting out on a journey, having no idea what you're doing. Like, where am I going? What the hell? And the 2 of Wands is like, this is a really big world. I have just like this little piece of my world, which I know my family, my friends, and there's just like this gigantic world out there for me. And, where do I fit in? And so I don't know how young or old you are. I guess we're all at spaces of beginnings in our life, of where we're starting fresh. You get your first card, this Queen of Wands, means that you have you have a special gift of like talking and communication and of humor and of making situations lighter and more relaxed. But like a really, really headstrong quality where you go after what you want and you achieve your goals. And it's crossed by the Prince of Swords or the Knight of Swords, which is really an aggressiveness, but this aggressiveness might also not make you a very good team player. I hate to say it. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's fun to work with, but the Prince of Swords is somebody who, you kind of want to get out of their way. Like you want them, it's like if they're like busy doing their job, you want to just have them do, have them do their job without like quite getting in their way. And so I don't know if like team playing is the right choice, but I do feel like you kind of have to be the leader. Like people need to follow you. And I don't know if they say to be a good leader, you need to be a good follower. I don't know. This Queen of Swords is pretty severe. She's pretty intense. And so I don't know. She's somebody that people follow. They follow her. So underneath, you get this Three of Pentacles, Prince of Pentacles. And so the Three of Pentacles can sometimes mean small business or uniting with people, with a small group of people over a similar cause. It can also mean that you are some sort of an expert in a field that like people come to you for some sort of expertise. So even though it seems like you start off like not knowing exactly what to do, I feel like there's something that you are just good at that you kind of fall into. And because I feel like that people come to you to help them for some reason. And so, but you do get this Prince of Pentacles. Interesting. Prince of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles can sometimes mean like education, like starting off with a certificate or a community college, or just getting your feet wet and figuring out what it is that you want to study, taking lighter courses before you take more serious courses. And so I feel like you might have this natural talent and this motivation kind of locked up inside of you. And I think once you stumble onto the subject that you really want, that you just grow absolutely obsessed over it. Let's see here. So now, I mean, I guess there are like a few different career choices that are kind of hopping off the table here. So in the near future, you get Justice and the Wheel of Fortune. So Justice, first of all, it could be, this Queen of Swords, Prince of Swords, Queen of Torches. These are all like really super, super strong cards. It can be military. It could be law enforcement. It could be like badass, like tough person. Really tough person. And so in this Justice card, again, it just talks about, somebody who's like obeying the rules or following the rules or holding up the rules. Like, what does that mean? It seems as if there's a really strong drive and sense of morals and helping people as well, but like leading and supporting. That's why I'm thinking like a therapist or something. It's something that has school, but it could also deal with law or justice or a judge or but it's different for like whatever you pick up from this reading is what you pick up from this reading. I mean, on the most general terms, I feel like school is where you find your passion, and you find it through like lighter school. So you stumble upon a course that that turns you on, and then you do a deep dive into it later, and then excel in that. But I think you have natural talent and a natural drive that kind of carries this forward. Now you get this Prince of Cups, this Knight of Cups. Trying to figure out, what does that mean? It's like, you know, the Knight of Cups is somebody that helps you, and you know, and I always recommend, you know, looking at people who you admire and who can be, you know, types of mentors for you. I feel like you might kind of have a crush on someone that, or like grow to have a crush on someone that is in a similar field that you want to get into. And so this Prince of Cups, I'm just kind of curious, who is this person on your journey? Because you are kind of like really like tough. But there's a lighter side of you that's drawn out by somebody sensitive. It says that you fear, as you know, being poor. Like, I don't know if you have come from a situation of not having a lot of money and just want to go to this place of like, I want to have money no matter what. You know, for some reason it says like poverty and having nowhere to go and no options and no choices is just like a fear of yours, and it kind of drives you a little bit. And but I see you just crushing it and just really being a leader and an owner and a CEO and a boss, and you know, somebody, you know, people follow you, and you're an expert in a field, and you might even carry a weapon. You know, it's like you're badass. Like, this person is really crazy. But like I said, it seems as if you kind of overcommit to your job. Like you go and you really give your all to the career that you land on. And but there's a foundation of this intense obsession for knowledge over this subject. So now above is the Empress. So the Empress is kind of like, you know, imagining you're just sort of going to fall into it. You know, it could also mean that you're thinking, you know, well, you might be a mother instead or something like that. I feel like you may like combine efforts. You know, this is kind of a work reading, so I can't say too much about you know, family so much, but I feel like that you are supported by a lover who is tender to you in ways in like the bedroom or whatever, but then in your work life you just like go out there and crush it. I would have to say, like, be careful to not bring this person home to your lover, because, you know, if you're like trying to compete with your lover and trying to outwin them monetarily, it might not be too good of a thing for you. But I don't know, I feel like you do really well, and you get this Wheel of Fortune. So you come across an idea, and it doesn't happen automatically. I think you might have to search for it a little bit, but there's something that you're naturally good at. You should take my VIA survey. It's on my Linktree. You can get to it through my bio, wherever. And the Linktree has the VIA survey for character strengths. And if you take it, it puts your character strengths in order. And if you use your top 4 character strengths every day in your career, then you'll consider your career a calling. So I think in all, you kind of start off not knowing where you're going, but you have natural talents and an intense drive to succeed. I think that you discover a subject that really turns you on and lights your fire, and I think you start just going into it and doing a deep dive. I don't know if you totally go to school for it, but you do get some sort of certified and become an expert in a field and become a leader in that field, and you commit yourself totally to your cause. And I think you have a really sweet partner that keeps you soft while you just charge forward in your career. So I just wonder what it is. It's pretty severe. It's like It's like a really serious career. Could be like a defender, like a legal defender, you know, a lawyer, or, you know, somebody who can talk, you know, who can really talk and get people jazzed up and get people to follow them. And so, yeah, really exciting. All right. Reading 3. This is the Steampunk Tarot. The Steampunk Tarot. Okay. Let's see here. Career and work. I hope if you are enjoying this video, be sure to like and subscribe and join my Patreon for early access and to be able to choose what these videos are about. You can join my Patreon and you get some of the creative control over what kind of readings I'm doing. So these 3 readings are for my beloved patrons, and yeah, so if you want to join my Patreon, you can see the link in the comments. So I am Psychic Stina on Patreon. Okay, let's see here. The Magician. Interesting. Magician, you guys are all so good at something. Ace of Swords. The Magician. Let me see here. Funny cards. Funny cards. It seems like this person is very sly. I'm gonna have a sip of something. This person is very sly and very clever, and whoever this is for the steampunk, they end up you see, you get all these interesting cards. It almost looks like you're like a curious lover of sorts, you know, like almost like a player. I feel like you start off on one career and you give them your all and you dedicate yourself to a certain amount of people, and then you give it up and you go in a completely different direction. And I think that's very interesting. I think you try your best on making something work out, but there's something inside of you that's reaching for more. The Magician is like you're doing the day-to-day work, and you're doing what's asked of you and making things happen, but behind the scenes there's something else going on. There's something inside of you that wants more, that wants to create and wants to be a creative individual. So the Magician being your first card, it does seem like you are some sort of a creator. I think we all are creators. I'm a creator, you're a creator. You know, as humans, we all have this creative capacity. You know, we are created in the image of our higher power, and who is a creator. So we are all creators. So this Magician, I don't know, this is something that it's like, what are your passions? How do you see art in the world? How are you an artist? You know, do you do it through music? Do you do it through performance, through speaking, through visual art? You know, do you do it through interior design, architecture? Like how do you like spit back out how you perceive the world? You know, you perceive the world as one way, and then you create an image of your feeling of how you perceive the world, and you give it back to the world. Are you a photographer? What is it that you do? And so the Magician is like this creator, but it's crossed by the 7 of Wands, which is like you're struggling, you know, you're struggling in certain areas of your life, and it seems like you are overperforming for other people. Like people are kind of coming after you, and you have to work really, really hard doing things for other people and just trying to keep everybody else happy. And I think you want to create, and you want to build and do something that is specifically your own, but you're kind of tired because you're dealing with people who are just always trying to get something from you. So now underneath you get the Three of Wands with the Emperor, which I wonder kind of what this means. You know, the Three of Wands is like waiting until things settle down before you get going. You know, it's like waiting. I don't know if it's necessarily a waiting. It's kind of like a simmering down card. It's like you want things, you're trying to get distance from something. And this Emperor is that something has like a control over you. And so, I mean, this is possible that you're at this phase of life where you're just trying to kind of get some roots under you, kind of get some stability. But yet something inside of you is saying, I want something different. So in the past, you get this Page of Cups, Eight of Swords. So the Page of Cups, it means like a new relationship or something. So I would imagine like some sort of a new job, a new profession, a new hobby or event. And the Eight of Swords, that takes your time. So this is like you're dedicating yourself. You know, the Eight of Swords can be, you know, this person is tied. So they're kind of like dedicated to themselves to some sort of a job, to some sort of a relationship, to some sort of a purpose. But I feel like the purpose is for someone else, you know. You're dealing with this angry mob, you know, trying to make everybody happy. And so now in the near future, I think, and you know, the near future is relative. You know, it could be happening now, it could be a year. So you get the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords is kind of like drawing a boundary and saying, I don't like this, I don't want to do this. And the Six of Swords is saying, I like this card. He's saying, I want to go on a balloon ride. I want to see what else is out there for me. I want to get a higher vantage point and check out like what the world has to offer. And so I think you may, I don't know if you quit a job or move. I mean, the Six of Swords can sometimes mean like you do like something kind of dramatic, like you make some sort of a dramatic change where you give up something and you say, I want to do something more. I want to do something more. And you get the Empress. And so the Empress is like, you know, the Empress becomes pregnant with an idea. So you have some sort of an idea, but then, and this goes back to that Three of Swords, where I feel like you quit a job, like you quit. And so that must be this Ace of Swords, because it's like you start off on one sort of idea, and then you quit it and then go for something else But I think you might have some sort of a move in store, and where you know, you might even, you know, and this is, and you know, and just take what resonates from this reading. Just take what resonates, because everything might not be for everyone. So but it's possible you might get some sort of a job abroad, you know, like you might go work in the Peace Corps or teach English or something. Like there might be some sort of a journey overseas where you go discover yourself. And so yeah, this Three of Swords is kind of interesting though. It's can also be, you see, I'm not getting big doctor cards, but I'm getting surgery cards. You know, I'm getting surgeon cards, like somebody who is precise and who corrects things, and who, you know, editor, or somebody like a perfectionist, somebody who corrects things. And so I don't know if like a doctor is something that could happen here. I just am getting weird cards, like the Queen of Swords above. Like what does this mean? You know, what does this mean? So let me just look here. You get the Queen of Pentacles in your fears, which is worried about being, you know, I wonder, because it seems like there's this creative influence that wants to escape, this creative influence. And so I just wonder if this Queen of Pentacles in your fears is like worried about becoming a slave to money while like wanting to create, or like worried about like being like having to work for money without serving your passions, or this is but I think what happens to you, I know I'm all over the place, and it's whatever resonates for you, but I just think it's interesting. This Four of Wands, Knight of Swords. So this Knight of Swords is like, okay, this person wants to create, but they want to make money too, because your fears are valid, and you don't want to constantly be worried about making money and be making money without your passions. But I think something happens, and because the Four of Wands is my real estate card, and so it could be like you get a job that makes money, in like lump sums, like projects where boom, here's $30,000 and you can go live off of it for a year and create. Or boom, here's 15,000, here's 10,000, where you're doing these jobs like maybe in real estate, or and I don't know if like a doctor could do jobs like this, but it could have like journeys overseas where you go on a journey for 3 months and then you live off the money and create for the rest of the year, or or some sort of something like that, where I think that you want to create, but you want to make money too. And I feel like you might find a way to make money that like really just gets you going, and you get kind of aggressive with it. So you make like big chunks of money, like selling properties or flipping a house or something like that. And then you go create. And then you go live off of that money for a while, and then you go do it again, and so I don't know. I feel like you go and you have some sort of a job, and you end up leaving it to do your own thing, and you figure out a way to make money independently, and are able to, it seems like you travel or something, you go and you, I hope this makes sense. I just kind of want to go over it real quick. It seems as if you've had a job in the past that you committed yourself to. Seems as if you're a creative individual and you're just struggling with the day-to-day business of a mundane job. You get the Three of Wands with the Emperor. Is like you feel like you want things to calm down before you step out on your own. You get the Ace of Swords, Six of Swords, which I feel like you end up quitting your job, and you go and you travel or something, or move. And you get the Empress, where you get some sort of an idea of how to make money. And then I feel like you might get some sort of a side job, but then you cheat on that job. Like you start a project, but then you quit the project in order to do something of your own. It says you fear like working on projects that don't give you money, but I think you end up making money like real estate, or something like big chunks of money that allow you to create, and like selling big things, so you're like landing big amounts of money, and that just gives you time to do what it is that you want to do. So yeah, I hope this helps, and I hope these readings have helped. And if you guys have desires to do something great in life, then absolutely write down your dream and think about it every day, and go after it. I have to say, I wrote a work manifestation exercise. You can get to it through my link tree. And I like to write down all the things that I want in an ideal workplace, and then go look for that job, because what you search for, you will find. And so if there's a special job that you want to get into, get it really clear on a piece of paper, and don't let education requirements or experience requirements get in the way. It's amazing what you can do. I was a temp in San Francisco and Dallas, and I had some crazy jobs, and you know, and with minus big amounts of education. I mean, there's amazing things that you can do, and you know, it's just a matter of trying and looking and seeking, and you'll find it. So good luck to you. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and comment and subscribe to me, and look out for more videos from me. Take care, you guys, and have a nice day.